are celebrating 2 years of changing suits.
Throughout the 2 years, it has been a journey.
What's been your favourite part?
I'm going to be the one that makes a difference. I'm going to inspire my son, my daughter.
Hi, welcome to Changing Suits. My name's Bal.
And my name's Taj.
On this week's episode, for those avid listeners, our biggest fans, we are celebrating 2 years of changing suits.
So cheap.
So we just wanted to firstly say thank you, a massive thank you to everybody that has supported us over the last 2 years. And as you can see, we are crazy at celebrating because look at this. We've got, the banner, the happy birthday banners.
They look a bit sad, to be honest.
But it's fine. Did you know that happy birthday banner has been used for every single birthday?
So is mine.
Yes. So for anyone that has happy birthday banners with numbers on them, get rid of those. These are more cost effective during the cost of living crisis, right?
And it's a very Asian thing to do.
Yes. So we are going to give you the guide of everything Asian whilst you're celebrating. Yes?
Yeah.
So as you can see, aside from the banners, we've got balloons here. But we didn't have time to blow up the balloons, so we just stole the kids' ball. Right?
I was wondering what they were.
Well, I was planning to, but you know what happened? I didn't get enough time to blow the balloons up, and I had colour coordinated ones with the.
Well, when I said to you, let's dress up for this podcast, I thought, why not bring out my wedding lingo?
You're wearing your wedding lehenga. Very good, very good.
I'm wearing the top half of it. I can't be bothered to pull out the rest of it.
I was going to say, let's see if you've got the full lehenga at the bottom.
No.
Go on, let's see what's going on.
No.
What's going on? Go on, Dad. You got your pajama on. And that, listeners, is what Taj wore on her wedding. That pajama with the top and the Christmas thing going on there.
I just saw this lying around.
Well, I also pulled out some of these. I don't even know what they are, to tell you. What shredded thing. I think you're supposed to put it on them, I don't know. Anyway, and I did want to say vadanya to you with a box of Quality Streets.
Thank you. I will post them to me.
Yes, I will. Obviously, I'm not going to post them, so anyone that does receive it is this box, the famous Quality Streets box that has been on one of our episodes. But anyway, now enough of the silliness because that's not us. We're very serious on these podcasts. We wanted to...
oh God, and then you go into serious mode.
Now we'll rip everything off. Okay, on a serious note, 2 years has flown by. Can you believe it's 2 years?
It is. It's been an amazing 2 years. And it has been a journey.
Yes. And we've grown from the podcast to all of the events that we're doing and just growing this organisation. I know we talk about this every so often. We chuck it in and, talk about the things that we're doing. But the main reason, I think it's really important that we pick up on why we started this organisation, going right from the back. So anyone that hasn't listened to the first episode of why we decided to do this podcast, please do listen back. But the main thing for us was to make a difference within the South Asian community, especially the second generation, because obviously that's the generation we are, but also seeing what we can learn from what we've gone through and then apply it to how we bring up our kids and the next generation. And that essentially was the reason that we've done this. Taj, is there anything, it's all of a sudden gone really, really serious.
Yeah, and you really brought the mood down. But anyway, so I think throughout the 2 years, it has been a journey from us learning and growing of how to do our podcast all the way to now having on some amazing guests. Guests have been amazing throughout and very supportive. And even more importantly, the listeners, we're getting feedback from the listeners of how our podcasts are changing people's lives and making them rethink about things. And even for yourself, Bal, well, for both of us, talking to our guests, we've even changed the way we're thinking, changed our lives essentially, and taking a different route from what we've learned. It's opening your eyes up to a different way of living and a different perspective.
Do you know what? I was thinking this at breakfast, and it was a case of what you know when you're at school, you're sort of set with okay, so you need to do the exams, you need to GCSEs, A levels, university, go to work and get married, all the same sort of things. But doing this, it sort of has opened our eyes up to well, what is it that we actually want to do? What do we want to achieve? And what can we do through the stuff that we're doing through the organisation? And that has been a real eye opener as to oh, there is a world beyond the one that we're constantly just day to day things that we're doing.
I think for us, the biggest thing was our parents, and quite a lot of parents in the South Asian community, like, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be this, be that. And this has shown us we don't have to be those typical paths.
Because we weren't smart enough.
Isn't that nice? Yeah, we could have chosen those routes, but we decided we didn't want to because we didn't find them interesting.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And
That's what it was.
we wanted to make a difference in the world in the way that we wanted to do it. And we wanted to enjoy the journey. And for example, I mean, I've been away from work, not 100%, but off and on for about a week. And coming back yesterday, I was looking forward to it. Now, can't say that about other jobs. And I was just doing the finance side, and my daughter's like, they're just numbers. But because what's behind those numbers is important, whereas I was dealing with numbers in other organizations as well. But because I didn't have that love for the organization, it was like run of the mill. Oh my God, here I've got to do this. But for our organization, because we're growing and we're seeing how from the ground down, ground up,
Oh, great.
ground up, we're making a change. And that's what's the drive of making me think every bit of what we're doing is so important.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Going back as to why we started, and this was mentioned on the very, very first podcast. Now, I actually need to go back to it and just check and make sure it was actually correct what I was saying, but otherwise I'd delete that episode. But essentially, there are so many things that we know that we're going through, and other people are going through the same thing. And, the one really surprising aspect of everything that we talk about is, what will the community say? And a number of times, we've said it over and over and over again. That one line has had such an impact on, well, actually, does it matter that much? If you're not enjoying what you're doing, then does it really matter what the community is going to say anyway?
But have you noticed it's sort of every guest that has come on, they've said the same thing. We've gone through the same thing. But it makes you sit back and wonder, who is this community that we're looking at? Because if all of us are saying the same thing, then is it that we're being judgmental as well because we're part of the community? Because sometimes we don't recognize when you just say, oh, it's me that's saying it, so it doesn't matter. I don't mean it in a harmful way. You might not mean it in a harmful way, but the other person from the other side might see it in a harmful way.
Mm,
So it's another perspective to look at it, because who is this community? Because everyone's feeling the same, no matter what generation you're in.
and we're part of that community. Wow, we all of a sudden turned really dark. But
This is
this
how
is
we
what our
celebrate.
podcasts are about. We're celebrating, yet we know there's a dark side. Okay, so out of everything that we've done in the last 2 years, what's been your favourite part of this journey?
I think just essentially learning
Yeah.
learning and learning in a different way. I mean, Gurpreet Kaur, who was our first academic on the podcast, wow, she blew my mind because she made me think in completely a different way.
Do you
And the
not?
lady's so clever.
I was going to say, do you not think that has happened with pretty much all of our guests, where it's like, oh, okay, so that's a different perspective on the same
Yeah.
issue. We've turned it around, and that essentially is the point of this. We've got to open our eyes as to look, the way we're thinking isn't always correct. I mean, we need to actually put our hands up and say, oh, sorry, my ball was about to fly. Move.
You mean your balloon?
My balloon was about to move. Let me just put it back. I'll put it back. But yeah, no, it's about opening our own eyes to say exactly what you think. We are part of that community. We are that judgmental part of that community. We are the community. So essentially, if we don't start talking about the issues that are being raised and actually think about what's being said, then we're no different to the next person. If that is affecting us as to how the community is seeing us, we are then affecting another person, and that can't be a good thing if it's a negative way that we're judging them.
See,
Yeah.
one thing that I found from this is women are in the South Asian community aren't up there in the platforms of the leadership roles as in the community. And that's made me really reflect on what we should be doing about it, what our steps should be. We need to stop looking at, which I do as well, someone else to be the one that leads. We need to be the person that gets up and says, right, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the one that makes a difference. I'm going to inspire my son, my daughter, whoever, to be that person that inspires. So yeah, we need to stop looking to others to make those changes.
But do you not find it really interesting that, you know, we spoke to one person, and I won't name where that person was from, and there wasn't a podcast guest, so you don't need to try and think, oh, let's go past look at the podcast. But and you'll know who I'm talking about. When we said to them, so what do you think about, you know, taboo topics? And they were like, yeah, I don't get it. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And we're like, okay, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you? You look a bit lost.
No, it was someone that we were going to interview.
I said I wasn't going to say, but anyway,
No
okay.
one's going to know who it is.
All right, fine. But what that really showed me was, unless we're going through it, and I know this sounds like a really obvious thing, unless we're going through it, we won't understand what a taboo actually is. And unless the people that are going through it speak about it, then it's never going to be heard about. It's always going to be brushed under the carpet. And that person, when that person said, yeah, I don't think there's
I
any,
think our jaws dropped, didn't they?
yeah, we were like, okay, you're not going to get the job.
Our whole organisation is about this. First of all, why would you apply for?
Yeah, but it shocked me that someone could be like, oh no, there's nothing that is a taboo within our culture.
Maybe their world has no taboos.
Yeah, but
So
this is
why
what,
are we judging them?
yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like, if they haven't been through anything, okay, fine, I am judging, but it's just like, yeah, come on. But anyway, we won't judge. Okay, so your favorite.
We do.
Well, you know, we're human after all, right? No,
I think for me, another aspect of that was domestic abuse and then going out in the community and talking about it to different generations. And the older generation, they just don't believe that domestic abuse is a thing. It's get on with it. It's meant to be. This is part of your journey to stay married. And you're like, but if this was your child going through the domestic abuse, would you change your mind? I think you would.
no, but isn't that the issue, especially with domestic abuse, and why a lot of people don't get out, is because they won't change. People won't change their view. Yes, it might have more of an impact, but the thing is, I don't know, marriage is marriage. It's for life. Oh, calm down. You are still married. But anyway, so the other thing that I found really interesting and I've really enjoyed, apart from the fact that I always say, and I've noticed it in a lot of podcasts, that's really interesting. But I do genuinely mean it when I say it. But it's the learning of new things. So we are having to learn things about new technology. And over the last few weeks, I've learned a lot more about AI, and I'm going to everyone saying, oh my God, this is amazing. Have you used it? And a lot of people in our generation have said, no, they haven't. And I'm like, so are you saying that I'm more advanced than you are?
I know.
But how crazy is that? But that's only because we're in a situation where we have to keep up to date somewhat. I'm sure there's a lot more that, obviously, there's a lot more that I need to learn. But it's amazing. I
It
actually
is.
know
I
what
was
other
shocked when you
people
showed
are.
me. It just made me think, what is the future for our kids? Do we need human beings anymore?
Waste of space, I say. Isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, the point is, the point is, like, we are learning things that is before everyone else in our generation is, and I'm really proud of that because I've never done that. I've always just been, you know, one of someone we know doesn't even have a smartphone because they have said they're smart, and you know who I'm talking about as well. They're smart themselves, but you don't need to be smart anymore. You've got
You can be thick as bleep and
yes,
still be clever.
you've got technology. Okay, what's
So
the
wait, I want to wind it back to something else. Now, had we said to our parents that we were going to go this way, one of the things they would have said is, "Oh, do this when you get married. Don't do it now." With quite a lot of things, "Oh, do it when you get married." So everything that you do, your life starts essentially for the parents after you get married because they don't want an easy ride, but they don't want the risk. They don't encounter the risk.
But I think it's a time thing because if you do it, if you get married early, it means okay, you'd have kids early. And I now, as I've said previously, I get why they'd want us to get married earlier so they can have more kids, have kids
But
and
like, for example, I wanted a dog. I'm like, no, just get it when you're married. Do everything when you're married. It's like life starts when you're married. Does it really?
oh my god, this is not looking good for the party. There was a post I saw from someone that we follow on Instagram this morning. I saw it, and she's gone back to studying, and she said something along the same lines of, we were always told once you get married, then do that. But she's obviously enjoying studying, and I was like, that's a really good point because I'm planning to get back into study as well, and that again is something I've always wanted to do, and this has given me the opportunity to do that, and I'm sort of paving my own path towards that, which I probably wouldn't have done before.
But
But
is it because you got married?
no, let's to be fair on our husbands, the chance that we have had to do this, because it does take time. I was working till 10 o'clock yesterday, and in my head I'm always like, you're not going to work past 5 o'clock, and it hasn't happened. Go on.
Saying that, it's really funny. Like, we've started up this organization, and quite a lot of the people from our community are asking, are you getting paid?
Hmm.
This is something that comes up quite a lot. And I'm thinking, if this was a man in this position, would they first of all ask the same question? And second of all, quite a lot of the work we are doing is because we're depending on our husbands to pay quite a lot of the stuff.
This is why I'm saying, so don't keep having a go at me, I
Yeah,
forget
I'm
that.
bigging my husband up now. I'm saying it as it is, because we wouldn't have been able to have this opportunity if our husbands weren't working and paying most of the bills.
that's, that's such a, oh, but we're trying to fight for women's rights. But essentially, it's exactly that, though. And this is where the whole partnership came. Again, I saw something this morning where it says it shouldn't be happy wife, happy life. It should be happy spouse, happy house. And I was like, well, that's a really good point. I saw that post today, and I'm like, I like that. But where would you put that whole thing of, this whole feminist? No, let's not. I don't even know enough about the feministic movement, so let's not use that word because
I think I know where you're going, but my thing is we always as women measure ourselves against men, and that's the scale. But I think we need to stop doing that, because man shouldn't be the measurement. Then we're giving them the power of you're the thing that we should, you're the marker, you're the benchmark. What about the things that women do as well?
damn right, you tell them. But they again, everyone's got their own thing. I mean, like you said, the reason we've had the opportunity to do this is because you know our husbands have been really good in supporting us and saying, okay, you do what you need to do. We'll just keep having to pay the bills whilst you're doing that. That's been fab. It's worked out really well. But anyway, but going back to what you said, yeah, that question wouldn't have been asked if we were men. And to be fair, like I've always said, like, why would you? People don't get embarrassed about it, which you shouldn't. To be fair, we did have a podcast on this. You shouldn't be embarrassed of asking about pay, but only when it actually matters to you, where it influences your role. And I remember we had that conversation, and it was a case of, well, if you're on the same sort of, oh, sorry, my ball again. If you're on the same sort of, in the same sort of role, you should be asking, oh, what are you getting paid? Are you in line? But if that's not got anything to do with it, why?
That's not got to do with it. It's just pure nosiness, I would say.
Okay. All right. Let's not get all negative because it is 2 years celebration. Jeez.
Celebrating. Oh, talking about celebration. So the reason why I wore my wedding half outfit, because I couldn't be bothered to get out the
It's
rest.
not even half. The Lenga's most of it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
isn't it funny when you get married and you think, oh, I'm going to have my wedding outfit and I'm going to rewear it? This is the second time I've worn it.
Oh my God, this is important.
This is very important, because we are told buy something that you can wear again, which most of us don't, to be honest. You did. Did you wear your one again?
I haven't, only because I don't fit in it anymore. I don't understand
How
how.
do you not fit in it? You're skinny then. You're skinnier now.
No, but apparently I've got slightly fatter than before. Now I haven't got an issue with that, but I can't fit into it. I know.
Anorexic.
Maybe I should try though. Maybe I should have walked in with my thingy, but it would have been longer because obviously I had the like, what was it? What did they call it? Not sure.
Ganari. Ganari?
Anarkali.
Anarkali. Kari?
Anarkali.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
But anyway, so my one was a bit longer. Would you have chosen the same wedding outfit if you were getting married now and you're renewing your wedding?
No, I think I would have picked different colours. I mean, mine is essentially a different colour. It was this reddy, a bit more red, the lenga was, and what is this? Beige? Cream? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it
Gold.
was a bit different, but I think I would have gone different. Yeah.
What colour would you gone?
An orangey more. Oh, you went orangey, didn't you? Oh
I
god,
did go
yeah.
orange. Yes, I went
Is
orange.
that what you wore in your wedding?
But I haven't actually told the story about my wedding outfit.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, have I? Do you remember when we went to?
Yeah, go on, tell your story about your wedding outfit.
I'll
It's like
tell
a
everyone.
waste of money.
Well, so Taj, I went with Taj to. This is a story to the listeners. I went with Taj to India to get her wedding outfit, and I was like, look, in a few years, everyone's going to start talking about me having to get married. I'm not really fussed what I get married in, right? So what did I do, Taj? What did I do?
A beautiful lenga.
I did buy an amazing, beautiful lenga
But
when.
then what happened?
So I didn't have a husband that I was going to get married to at that point. So I bought the outfit, and it was a lovely red, beautiful red outfit. And I was like, I won't need to go to India now because I've got my wedding outfit. Got buy one get one free.
We
Oh,
didn't get it free because
we
it's
didn't get it
bloody
free; it was very
expensive.
expensive for Guada. Um, and yeah, so when I actually found a partner.
Did you tell him that you had a lenga already ready? Because that would have put me off.
I don't think I've told him no. So if he
Well,
listens to this episode, he will find out. But yeah, he didn't want to wear red. We went orange. So I did have to get a second wedding outfit.
so what does that say about your character? Because my husband didn't want me to wear red. I had picked red, and I wore red. Now, I don't want to say anything.
What did Party want to wear?
He didn't want me to wear red.
Oh, he didn't have another alternative colour.
No, but he just didn't want me to wear red. So I was like, okay, then I'm wearing red even more.
Yeah, because you could have gone with it because you hadn't bought your outfit in advance.
No, I hadn't.
So you were
And
just
your one's still sitting in the beddy.
no. Is
Yeah,
it? No,
yeah,
it's not.
it
It's not.
is.
No, it's not.
It is.
Did you see it?
Yes.
When?
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking mum and dad took it to India. They didn't. It's too
Oh,
heavy.
no, they did. I think.
That's it. Next time I go home, I'm going to have a look at it.
Let me go and phone them now.
Anyway,
So that is what happened. I did double up and spend more money on a wedding outfit. Now, the reason we discuss this is because it's got nothing to do with the fact that it's our 2-year birthday. But we are continuing this discussion because what else do you want us to discuss? It's a birthday, for God's sakes. That's it. It's
I
2 years.
mean, when we were growing up, how did we celebrate birthdays? I remember we always used to wear Indian outfits.
Yes.
So with me, I was thinking, what should I wear for this podcast today? What means celebration? I was going to wear a bright colour, and I thought, no, that's not celebration enough. I need to have sparkle.
Sparkle.
Yes.
So for your
And
wedding
I thought, what about my wedding outfit?
day. Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't think that. I was trying to find a party hat, and this was all I was going to go to. And then because you text me saying, "Look, make sure you press record as soon as you come in," I was like, "Okay, she's obviously doing something," which is why I bought out the balloons, and then I bought the Quality Streets box and the green.
You were just trying to top what I'm wearing, but I don't think it did.
No, it didn't. But it's funny because you only came with the wedding outfit, and then we were like, "Okay, we better start doing something for birthdays." But the point is, okay, that this is another part, of the thing that we need to discuss. We don't celebrate birthdays anymore. Have you ever noticed that?
Yep.
In the good old days, we'd get together and cut a birthday cake. The one from East Ham, the pineapple one, that was a good birthday cake.
Orange jam.
Orange jam. Was it orange jam?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, the orange jam one. Every
If
birthday.
anyone can tell us about a birthday cake like that, I would be so happy. Pineapples, cream, and it had orange jam.
Hmm. And I know there's one place I won't be buying that birthday cake, but I won't mention that here. Any anyone that knows me personally will understand what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so we'd get together, our cousins would get together, we'd have a bit of a dance, and we got loads of photos where we're all dancing, which is really nice, having a good laugh. And then when we got married, I have to say, Sook's family's been quite good like that. They would, every birthday, they'd get together. But things even here have died down. We don't really get together. I mean, the only time our family gets together is not
Death.
a birthday, it's a death, essentially. So are we wrong for doing that?
I think people are worried if they get together, they need to buy presents.
Mm.
Now, it's turning materialistic, and I think that is even amongst us. We don't get together for birthdays because we're thinking, "Oh my god, I have to fork out for a birthday present, and I'm stingy." No, that's not. No, but
Do you think,
genuinely, it is that you don't call the other person because you're thinking, "I don't want to waste their money, and I don't want them to think that birthday
well,
presents
we
is."
don't even phone. It's a text message on the family group saying, "Oh, happy birthday." Like that's going to make up for the fact that you haven't bothered phoning me.
Is it because aren't we don't want to be happy anymore? We don't want to celebrate good things.
I think we don't give ourselves. We're all busy, right? You know, if you say, "Okay, this is the date we're going to get together," everyone's like, someone's going to be like, "Oh, I'm busy that date," duh, and everyone's just got things to do, right? But who cares if that person can't make it? I think we do need to start doing things because one day one of us is going to die, and then we're going to regret the fact
Well,
that.
the fact that we haven't even got together for our celebration of our 2-year podcast.
Oh, come on! We spent a whole week together last week. I can't do any more time. No
Yes.
more. No
I
more.
was saying that that was a learning curve, wasn't it?
It was a learning curve. So we have learned that we can celebrate our birthday far apart. We're fine. When we get together, we are very different people now. Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's on for another episode. We don't need to discuss that. But yeah, I think on that point, we do need to, because I was listening to a book and what it said, it was about happiness. What can you do to make yourself happy? That kind of thing, right? And that's not because I'm really sad, but I think it's an interesting topic. And one thing I learned from it was it said, so this woman was doing like, I think it was, she called it Project Happiness in her book. And she goes, she wants to have fun with her kids.
Mm.
If she's spending time, that is the trigger. She sees the kids, she's having fun, or they have quality time together. Now, I went to the park yesterday. Now I hate going to the park with the kids. I'm like, ugh, let's just do this, get this done, right? But yesterday morning, I did go to the park with the kids, and I actually really enjoyed it. I played football with him, my son, and I ran around and actually got the ball, and I was tired. And then I got on the climbing frame and all that sort of stuff. Got to the top of the climbing frame. In fact, I even got a photo of it, so I might even put that up. But the point is, I had fun and genuine fun because I sort of said to myself, have fun. So
You
that's
had
the
to,
other
you
thing.
had to program yourself to have fun. How sad is that? But I
No,
do understand what you
but then
mean.
I did think, isn't that what makes us, what carries on people being youthful? Because it's like, well, they're actually living like children. They're having fun. They're not sitting around talking, which is essentially what happens when you get older, right?
Yeah, it is true, but then you forget. For example, in lockdown, I played with the kids a lot, and I was playing hide and seek. I could only hide in certain places because obviously
That's too big.
bit big now. I
Yeah.
did end up in like hiding in the cupboard, which was I felt really good about. That's the
Which
one memory. My bedroom cupboard because they're pretty big. So I sat in there, hid there, and yeah, it made me feel happy. And I thought, yeah, this is fun.
when you're playing hide and seek, do you not just like the excitement makes you want to go for a wee a little bit? Because you're like, are they going to get me? No, just me.
But last week I was playing football. Every time I play football, I always hurt myself. I'm a
Oh,
pretty good football player, but last week one of the kids kicked the ball to my leg,
it
and
looked.
now I've got the biggest bruise in the world. And this isn't funny, but I showed my dad my leg, and the look of horror in his face, I thought, he was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "No, no, no, Dad, it's just I've just been hit by a football, nothing else, nothing else." But that look on his face kind of said it all.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god!" And I quickly had to say, "Don't worry, it's just a football."
Anyway,
Touch and go there.
okay. So the point we were trying to make earlier is, we have to start enjoying ourselves. So what are we going to change to make sure we're enjoying ourselves? Because yes, work-wise, I think we've ticked that box. Both of us have. Like we're happy with where we are, and not everyone is lucky enough to be in that position. What else can we do?
I am going to start playing with the kids more and spend more time with them, and I am going to try to compartmentalize all my life.
Like
Work,
that boy.
yeah, units. We
You
talk about that a lot. Units.
Yeah.
I'm going to do work in work time, play in playtime, and I'm going to start reading.
Okay. And what? Okay. And the other day you did say that you're going to start going out with party, maybe a surprise holiday or something.
Yes, Hopefully he won't listen to
No
this
one,
episode.
and tell him that she said that, okay? Because she hasn't booked it yet.
No, I'm going to do a surprise.
A surprise.
Holiday, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I won't put that on, you know, the little snippets that I do when we go on social media. I won't put that out.
Okay.
Surprise holiday. But even all of
I
us,
have to spend my own money.
oh
But
my,
I'll do it. I'll do it.
that's part of it because we need to spend time with people that we want to spend time with. I don't know if you want to spend time with me.
Who said I wanted to spend time with him?
You just want a holiday. It's all good. He's gonna be angry at this episode. You're like, what? But anyway, so I just want to finish off by saying thank you again to all of the supporters out there. Whoop, whoop. We've really appreciated your support. We would not have been able to do this without you. And we have got to 2 years, and here's to another 2 years, well, more than 2 years, obviously. But there's more in the pipeline, a lot more projects that are coming out over this year. Go on, sorry,
I
Taj.
just wanted to add, we're also launching our website for celebrating our 2 years. You look a bit shocked.
I'm only shocked because Sook better get a move on then. Well, to be fair, we do already have a website. It's just not that great. I better go on.
Yes, it is. It's one to celebrate 2 years, and it's an amazing website. So please do visit, Bal.
www.changingsuits.org.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And Apple and Spotify and Stitcher and any of the other podcast thingies, subscribe because anytime we've got something new coming out, you will get notified. Yes. Okay. So other than that, we will be on our merry way, enjoying the rest of the day separate because we spent too much time together this holiday. And we'll see you on the next podcast. That's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, changing_suits, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.